Hey, Jordan, you ready to talk to Steve from One Watch Just Isn't Enough?
You bet I am, Alex. Let's wind it up.
What you talking about? It's time for the show right now. Alex and Jordan break it down from the bezel to the crown. Every second counts, no doubt. What you talking about?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10. Episode 10 of What You Talking About, Jordan. We're just flying through them. Can't believe it.
Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been fun. Like we keep saying, that every week we get to learn a little something, chat with some fun people, or, just get straight up roasted by Smartwatch Dick. So, hasn't been a dull 10 weeks, that's for sure.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah. Normally we start with our wrist checks, but we're going to hold off until we get our guest Steve on here because we want to do wrist checks with him. So we're just going to get right into our Smartwatch Dick segment this week. He had a full episode of just you and I talking to work with. So definitely more material for him. No guest last week, so this could be interesting.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I can't remember the last episode really, due to a career concussion. So I have no idea what he's going to come up with. It's going to be excellent.
Perfect. Well, with that being said, then let's get into it and remind you.
Neat picks, corrections incoming with Smartwatch Dick.
All right, let's roll this and see what he's got for us this week.
Dick back from his top secret vacation. Well, not really a vacation. It was a work event, but I was able to get away a bit, had some fun, survived. It was nice to touch base with you guys live last week. It was also nice that you guys were able to actually do an episode just with the two of you, so you had lots of chance to make some mistakes for me to take a look at. So, first things first, I want to roll this clip.
Have salmon dialed watches. I hate you.
Whoa, that's a little aggressive, Jordan. In solidarity with my salmon watch dial family, I've worn my salmon pullover just to let them know that I don't take things as seriously as you do. And I did my best with the watch. So what I ended up with was the Garmin Venue 3, as always, with a salmon dial. All right, on to the nitpicks.
Yeah, Orient's a really interesting company that a lot of guys are wearing and a lot of guys are talking about, and they talk about a lot of value for their money. So I thought that was kind of just an interesting, more of in the, I guess, maybe micro brand space, I guess, is where the guys talk about them. Compared
I think
to,
I'd call them lesser known.
Yeah, compared to very much like a Seiko. A lot of people think like a Seiko owns them. I think there's some history that revolves around Seiko, Ricoh, or something, the parent company. I don't know a lot of the history, but...
Well, this was an interesting one that got me going down the rabbit hole of the Orient Watch Company. They actually started in 1901 when Shigeru Yoshida opened up a watch repair shop in Tokyo. By 1912, he was making his first gold watch case, and then in 1920, they incorporated as Toyo Tokei Manufacturing, where they basically specialized in table clocks. In 1950 is when they changed their name to Orient Watch Company, and they started mass producing their very first watch. It was actually called the New Orient. They are, as you thought, Alex, owned by Seiko. In 2009, they became a wholly owned subsidiary of Seiko Epson. And then in 2017, they were dissolved, and now they just work as an independent part of Seiko Epson as opposed to their own corporation. Yeah, lots of history there. They're celebrating 75 years right now and putting out some really nice watches.
Well, I must admit, I do love me a small secondhand.
I'm just going to leave that there.
There's a lot of different ways we can go with this, but I don't think any of them are appropriate for this show. So, like Alex, I'm just going to leave that there.
This is where I start nerding out. So as you look down the spec list, and you see the case material about halfway down the list there, stainless steel, 904L stainless steel. So very few watch companies use 904L stainless. Probably the most popular one you'll know that uses 904L stainless would be Rolex. Your average watch is 316L stainless. 904L is, just more resistant to what's word I'm looking for, like decay or, corrosion sort of thing. So it's just a little higher quality stainless steel. So
Got to give this one to Jordan. That's a good eye spotting that 904L stainless steel. It's not used a lot in watchmaking for a few reasons. It's a lot more expensive, about 130% the cost of the 316L stainless. It's also a lot harder to work with because it's denser. It's harder to machine and takes a lot more work, but you are able to polish it up to a more lustrous shine, which is interesting. It's much more corrosion resistant. As you said, it resists pitting and stuff. It's commonly used in seawater applications, actually, because of the resiliency of it. And that comes because it has a higher nickel content than 316 stainless steel, as well as a higher molybdenum content. And they actually sometimes mix some copper in there too. So by the magic of chemistry, apparently that makes it more resistant to corrosion. But good eye, Jordan, spotting that 904. That's definitely a quality material for a watch.
With a, automatic series movement, I assume, and honestly, I assume that watch probably has a Miyota movement or a, come on, Seiko.
Yeah.
So for
I did look at it yesterday, but I honestly I don't remember. But I did look, and I want to say it was a Miyota. But
right,
maybe Smartwatch Dick can correct us.
No need for a correction, Alex. You got to stop second guessing yourself. You were bang on. That Wise Adamascus is a Miyota movement, either a 9015 or a 9019. That's giving you about 28,800 vibrations per hour or 4 hertz. So you get that nice smooth sweep on the second hand.
And again, it doesn't. I was kind of quickly reading the specs. It doesn't list how the watch on the dial there says ultra thin. It doesn't tell me how thin it is, which is kind of a marketing fail by the nice people there. But
I think we can let Alex off the hook on this one a little bit. It was a bit of a marketing fail by them. I went and checked the website, and the specs for the watch actually don't list the thickness in the watch. You have to read through the article and find the headline that says ultra thin means 6.2 millimeters. But I think we can all agree that it's amazing that the D1 Milano guys are able to make a watch so thin, such high quality.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, we better make sure our facts are right. Why did I put so many facts on my sheets now? There's so much information for him to check on me.
Yeah, see how I minimalized it because he's only got 4 things to fact check. You got too many now.
I'm not 100% sure minimalized is a word. And if it is, Jordan, I'm not sure you're using it in the right way there anyways, but that's beside the point. You guys came with the specs this week. I appreciate that. You guys know how I am with details. I didn't spend the time going to every site and picking through and seeing if you made a typo, because I'm sure you guys just copy and pasted from the sites. And if the manufacturer puts their spec down wrong, that doesn't fall on you guys anyways. I did get to learn a lot, though. It was nice to learn about the Orient watch history, read a little bit about different kinds of stainless steel. I kind of feel like there might be an ulterior motive here, and you guys are trying to get me into watches instead of smartwatches. As you know, I have a superpower, and that's I'm incredibly cheap, so I will not be getting into watches. All right, that's it for the show. As always, you guys hit me up on my email, wytanitpicks@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you think of the show. We've got our Instagrams. You can always follow us there, see what we're up to, take a look at what we're wearing every day. My personal Instagram is Smartwatch Dick. You've got Alex at Head Crash Chronicles, Jordan at Duke Durango, and then the podcast feed is WYTA Pod. So come and see us there. Like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment here on YouTube if you can. If you're only listening, you're missing a lot of the show. I would want to be a watcher if I was you, so you can see what the guys are wearing and see what they're talking about. They're always putting up lots of pictures. It's great to be here again, and look at that. My salmon's ready. You guys have a good day.
Jeez. Oh man, that guy.
His salmon's ready.
Just wow.
Oh,
that was amazing as always, Smartwatch Dick. Absolutely love that segment.
That was so good. I was going to say, a few more weeks, and he's going to know way more about watches than I do.
That's what I love. You know, the guy's supposed to just come on here, check our mistakes. Next thing you know, he's going to be like, give it a couple of years of doing this, and pretty soon there'll be people like Hodinky, like, oh, we're here with watch aficionado, Smartwatch Dick. You know,
100%.
Historian, Smartwatch Richard.
We're just going to have him on the show just so he can talk details and specs of the watches, because fill in the gaps that we don't have the knowledge on.
Yeah, well, we're stuck for words he can fill in.
Yeah. Oh man, what a guy. That's fantastic.
That was fantastic.
That was always great to have Smartwatch Dick on here. Thanks for all the plugs on the show. It's great to have you. Yeah, we'll definitely have him back on the live show again here soon.
Yeah. Always appreciate Smartwatch Dick.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to bring in our guest, and let's get chatting with Steve.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. So this week we got a guest with us. This week we're welcoming Steve. Instagram handle, One Wash Just Isn't Enough. I mean, pretty accurate name. I think so many of us feel that way about this hobby, this passion of ours. So welcome to the show, Steve. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Really excited.
Yeah. So I've hinted to this a few times about a watch in my collection that there's a story to tell, and this is the man on the other end of that story. So that's why we have him here this week with us. Plus,
awesome.
Him and I have gotten to know each other over the last little while on Instagram, and we chat watches all the time. I love his collection. We were going to dig into that a little bit. But before we start, we haven't done a wrist check yet this week, Jordan. So what are you wearing this week?
Well, first of all, why do you say it like that? Like, well, we haven't done a wrist check this, Jordan. Like somehow I've avoided it, or it sounded very accusatory the way you said that.
It did,
Alex.
didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Jordan,
bit.
Why haven't we done it?
Yeah, you stupid jerk.
I didn't mean it that way. But
All
I just
right,
realized
sorry.
we haven't gotten to that.
I can tell that you guys know each other for a long time. It definitely comes off that way.
20 plus years.
Yeah. And Alex says very mean things about my mother, so anything I say to him, he has coming. I can tell you that. I'm sorry if you're listening, Mom.
Is he getting thrown down the stairs?
No, not yet.
Not yet. But he's making his way to the top floor.
Yeah, still early, sucker. Yeah. All right. So sorry, man. Back to wrist checks.
I didn't mean to be so aggressive.
Yeah,
it's been one of those days. Yeah. So
okay. Well, this is actually.
Yet, so you
all
give
right.
her nuts, Jordan. Go ahead.
I'm going full. I'm so bad at this part, Steve. I'm going full new watch alert on this one. I'm wearing
I know what that is.
Yeah, this is my new Erebus Ascent Helix, and
purple,
with the purple fume dial. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Just got it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just got it 2 days ago, so yeah, I'm pretty psyched. Actually, bought my wife the black with the gilded markers on it. She's 39 millimeter because she likes to wear her watches a little bigger. So yeah, man, I'm really, really, really impressed. There'll be definitely a full review to follow, but
how amazing is that Ascent?
Yeah,
The
very. You know what I mean?
Hands,
again,
the case.
Well, and I hate using the phrase "value for dollar," right? Because it sounds like the watch is cheap, and it's inexpensive. It's not cheap, right? Like it's the price point on these watches is absolutely fantastic.
It's affordable-ish for affordable,
Yeah.
I guess. If you can say
like
that,
it's
$600 is affordable these days.
Well, and that's that's what people say to me, like, "What's a cheap watch?" And you'd be like, "Well, this one." And it'd be like $600, and it's like, well, okay, here's it. Then you got to think, okay, scale it, because one of the things I've realized very quickly with my wife about watches is I showed her so many, high-end Rolexes, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 watches, that I would show her like, "Oh, this is a nice watch," and she'd be like, "How much is it?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's $1,000," and she'd go, "Oh, that's not bad." Because I desensitized her with all these other crazy ones.
That
came in with a plan.
I guess
some people would call it brainwashing or grooming.
Yeah. You definitely created the right path for yourself, my friend, to keep buying more. Oh yeah, this one's
That's
only
right.
$1,000. She's like, what's
Yeah.
$1,000?
Yeah, what's $1,000? You
Yeah,
know.
that's
So,
awesome.
Yeah. All right, keep moving on. What's on your wrist today, Steve?
Well, gentlemen, today is what was going to be the reveal of the new watch, but unfortunately, I couldn't resist the urge to post it on Instagram. It's the new Norqain Freedom 60 chronograph. That's the NWA,
Man.
and a watch that has caused a huge ripple within my collection and has set off a domino effect of selling. But Alex, you would be happy to know, and I put this watch right here, that the Fusion has not been sold. It was
nice.
Good.
It was going to be sold, but ultimately I said to myself, I cannot. This is just such a perfect GATA, everyday type of do exactly what it is, go anywhere, do anything, and I couldn't bear myself to let this one go. So this one stays, but a lot of pieces have been sold already. I've already sold 7 or 6. In fact, before starting the podcast, I went to UPS and dropped off a watch that was sold last night.
Oh man.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I have the guts.
It's stressful. It's not easy because you really have to now kind of like rewire your brain to tell yourself, if you've loved these watches for so long, are you okay letting go of them? And like positionally, where do you stand? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to go up here? Do you want to have both? Do you want to like just have it all married together? And then when you ultimately break it down, money takes precedence over everything. And we can't just go like willy-nilly, I'm just going to spend an X amount of dollars. There must be some sort of give and take. So that part of the give and take process for me has been pretty strenuous, and I'm still figuring out what I want to sell, but I'm now getting into the pieces that I would really, really struggle with selling. And I think the pieces that I've sold so far have been acceptable, but now I'm going to crossing that border now into territory that I don't want to be in, but I don't know. It's caused a huge ripple effect in my whole collection, but it's worth it because this thing is special.
Yeah. Well, and this is something I want to come back to because I have I've had somewhat the same issue.
I have so many questions, and we're definitely going to dig into this.
Go ahead, dig into it. I'm ready for all of it.
I'm going to share what I'm wearing. We're going to tell the story of how this watch got onto my wrist, and then we're going to talk more about this because I have so many questions for you. So
go ahead, brother.
Today on my wrist, I'm wearing my second hour Fusion.
Yes.
You'll notice that this is the exact same watch that Steve just shared, and he is the reason that I have this watch.
Absolutely, brother. Hell yeah.
So I'll set this up just a little bit, and then I guess I'm going to want you to kind of give your side of the story of why the hell you sent me a watch.
Yeah.
And I say that with all the love and the respect in the world because you and I started chatting on Instagram. I want to say like it was last year, like not even a year ago. I want to say I started following you. And we just kind of hit it off, and you were like, man, I don't have a lot of, guys that, I can nerd out on watches with, like don't get sick of hearing it. I'm like, me and my buddy Jordan have that exact same problem. We're messaging all the time. We've talked on the phone, once, like we just slowly got to know each other. And one of the watches we talked about a lot was because you had this watch was the second hour Fusion and the black dial. Because I love that watch, and I was looking at it all the time. And then so we talked about it, and one day I get a message from you on Instagram, and it's letting me know that you've got a watch and you want to send it to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Blown away, not knowing what to say other than you're not sending me a watch, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Who does that?
There was. Hey, listen. There's still some of us good people left on this earth. I would like to believe. I had absolutely no intention behind this as far as monetary value. I wasn't doing this for any sort of beneficial gain. All I knew is that you were a cool dude. I like talking to you. You liked the watch. I had an extra watch. I said to myself, well, I can make this guy's day. I could sell it, or I could just send it to him. And I said, you know what? I think I'll take the latter. I think I'll send it to him, and he'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it, and we'll have a connection and a friendship, and that's it. I knew how much you like the watch, so when I felt that from you, I was like, you know what? This dude is gonna get it, and I just said to myself, I don't need it. I have an extra one. Peter from Second Hour, he is amazing. He is truly one of those very, very genuine people where he's. I wouldn't say like we've like the best of friends, but he's trusted me enough to send me free stuff, and ultimately I had one, and he sent me another, and I let him know beforehand that, hey, listen, I'm going to be sending you this watch. I gave him an Instagram handle. He was super cool with it, and that's it. And then you got the watch, and now we both have it, and it's a great all around watch. It just is.
Oh man. I mean, you know, you and I talk about it all the time how much I love this watch. I wear it all the time, like still. And I'm not just saying that. Jordan and I have talked about, like, you know, if you could take on his vacation watches, you know, episode, if you could just take one watch. I mean, you know, the more I thought about, like, this is the watch I would take.
It's just so easy. It can do anything. Yeah, it's so easy.
It's perfect. And I love it so much. And I love, yeah. Totally dress it up. Casual,
you can dress it down. Yeah, whatever you want to do with it. You can swim with it.
Yeah, it's a perfect watch. And yeah, like, you know, we were talking as we were getting going today, just the three of us. You know, like without technology, how could three of us be sitting here? You know, two of us in Western Canada, you on the East Coast of the United States, and here we are, and we forever have this connection now, and we're sitting here chatting and sharing the story about. You know, and what it really comes down to is what Jordan and I think we're trying to have, you know, a perspective and come from is this watch community is amazing, and we just like to be able to nerd out and talk about it. And now I've forever got a friend in New York.
Yes, you do, sir.
I shouldn't say where you live. I can take that out if you want.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, but now I've got this friend for life, and like I said, and I mean that. You know, like. I'm still blown away. I'm still blown away every day that I look at this watch and then I put this watch on. And
that right there was the reason, because I knew how much you would like it. That's it. That's the reason.
You know, and we always joke, you know, but like I think about you all the time when I put it on, so that's kind of a cool thing. So yeah,
and probably also in the shower.
Oh, all right. This is my cue to exit.
Easy.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Had to add something. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing about this whole story is, you know, Alex and I are, you know, if we preach anything, is it's not the watch, it's the story. And, you know, that watch that, you know, the good people at Second Hour sent you that you paid for it to Alex has definitely sold another one because, you know, I've seen it enough. I've talked about it enough. There will be a point where that watch, you know, comes into one of my comes into my collection. So I will definitely own a Second Hour at some point as well. A, they build a really nice watch, and B, the generosity of a company like that carries a lot of water for somebody like me. So that, you know, that kind of passion, you have for the brand, that's it for me right there.
Peter is very genuine. He is as genuine as they come. As a brand owner, he is one of the most genuine, giving people. Yeah, he is the real deal.
Yeah. And it's fun, you know, like I love sharing my watches on Instagram anyways. I mean, that's what I'm all about. But I mean, yeah, I love showing this one off, and you know, everyone's always complimenting it. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's a beautiful watch. Yeah. So I'm always happy to you know, beat that drum about Second Hour too, because I can't say enough about the quality of, you know, and the finish of this watch. It's beautiful. It's when I looked at the pictures and then it got into my hands, I'm like, those pictures do not do this watch justice. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that your next piece might be a mandala.
It's definitely on the list. It's a watch I really like too.
It will complement that Erebus tremendously well.
Yeah. I haven't obviously I haven't been able to show it yet because I wanted to wear this watch yet today for this discussion. But yeah, I do have an Erebus as well now, which is I don't know.
I hope I didn't steal the fire. I forgot.
Yeah.
Were we supposed to not talk about that?
No, I posted on Instagram. Cats out of the
Oh
bag.
yeah, you did. That's right. That's right. You did post on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once your wife knows, you can tell the world, but you got to make sure she knows first, because you don't want to hear that on Instagram. Oh, so I saw you on Instagram today, honey. I saw you got a new watch. Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's the last thing I need. Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, that's you dead.
So, yeah. So yeah, that's why we always want to be able to share the story with you on the show. I think it's such an amazing thing. How I feel, and I'm eternally grateful, and so it's awesome. But yeah, this is what this watch community is all about. You meet so many people that, like Steve said, there are good people out there, and I've gotten to know so many just through love of watches. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Amen.
Well, and one of the things my wife says about me, when I first got into this hobby, I was like, well, yeah, and if I want something, I'll sell something else and buy the next thing. And then I realized, like, oh no, I don't sell my watches because it takes me a long time to pick them, and so I realized I don't sell them. But if I have watches I don't wear, I give them away. And that's what she says. You don't sell your watches, you will give them away before you'll actually take money for them. And because I like to have that connection with people, that every time they put on that watch, they'll think of the time I gave it to them, right? Like, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
That is a cool thing, yeah.
Yeah. So now I feel like I got to get all these questions off my chest, and I know Jordan has a bunch about this new watch of yours too, Steve.
The Norqain.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I always have the question for us guys that are all micro brand guys, shopping on our beer budgets with champagne tastes, and how do you make the leap from micro brand up to definitely no less than entry level luxury, or mid tier luxury?
This leap started for me in 2023, when, believe it or not, I'm not a scammer, but I did do well with crypto. Okay, people always kind of like shiver when they hear that, but no, I did do well with crypto, and it allowed me to get my ultimate grail watch at that time, was the Tacura Carrera, and acquiring that watch kind of like put me on this path of the chronograph direction of, like, that's what I really wanted to go. And then in 24, again, things went well. I got the Breitling Navitimer, and then the Longines followed after that, and then
dang.
Yeah. So I kind of started in right at 23 February is when I got the tag, and before then I had a collection of about 28 watches of just pure micro brand, and I consolidated down to 8, and I sold off so many. Yeah, and it was just some people would call me very spontaneous or impulsive.
I don't even know what to do with that information, Steve. 8 watches. Oh my God.
Yeah, 20 watches sold, and that led me on the path of the acquisition of the Christopher Ward, the Hamilton that I have. What else came into there? The Tissot I already had, but the Longines, the Tag, and the Breitling, they came after, and this now is the latest one. And I guess it's just I believe there's space for both within. This there is space for both within the microbrand and big league watches, but it's hard, guys. It's hard because when you wear something like this, it definitely gives you, not because it's expensive, but because you just connect with it more. I guess it's really hard to explain, and maybe you guys can help me explain this. It's hard to explain. There's more of a connection with this.
Yeah. Well, for me, when you work hard and get a bonus at work, which, for Alex and I, that's kind of where this watch came from. When you work hard to get a bonus at work, or you work hard and have a good year, you make the right moves and it pays off. It's nice to reward yourself. And so when you look down, you're not just looking at a watch, you're looking at a memento of the time that you worked your ass off to do something, made it happen,
Absolutely.
ground it out, we're grinding, as the kids are saying today. And, you could afford that cool watch. And I think that to me is one of the cool things is, yeah, you've got a great watch on your wrist and people look and say, oh, Steve must have a lot of, expendable income because he has this really nice watch. And it's like, yeah, but don't discredit the hard work Steve did to achieve that, point where he could afford that nice watch.
It's also work in the sense of selling watches. It's hard because I sold the Revelo today. I don't know. The Revelo's gone. That Revelo Hex Mariner.
What?
Yeah, I sold it today.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I sold it. I sold that. And I was okay with it because it's kind of like I feel this shift again 3 years later, where 3 years ago I consolidated down. It's like I almost feel like I'm starting over again. So it's kind of like it's rejuvenating the collection once again. So I amassed the collection, and I sold pretty much most of it. Then I took myself on another 3-year journey, and now I feel like I'm going to do it again. And it allows me to stick to my number of 24 while retaining the excitement of like keeping it going. So not too recently ago, I just completed my box of 24. And I was like, I even posted on Instagram, said, you know what? I'm content. I'm done. And then this Norqain pops up, and I have a story. And then I have that's how it goes. And I have a story to tell, about this watch and why I got it, because I couldn't say no. You guys know Bucherer, Bucherer Time Machine, the big store here in New York.
Yeah.
So they were only able to get one. That's it. And the only one they can get was on a bracelet. I went there with cash in my hand, hoping that I can sway them and convince them to give it to me for that price. They didn't want to budge. The best they said they can do is they can do an engraving. So I started calling every single retailer, every single person that I know that can possibly source this watch, and no one had it. And then out of nowhere, something hit me. I have a buddy of mine, Jason, on Instagram, Jason Time Date Stamp. Sorry, Jason, if I'm forgetting it. But I asked him, I said, do you know anyone in the industry that has access to Norqain and specifically this watch? And he goes, yeah, I do. And I forget to say that he's a showroom manager for Christopher Ward in Virginia. So he puts, so he really cool guy. So he puts me in contact with his friend Chris at Little Jewelers. And I go, hey, Chris, what's up? Jason sent me. I'm looking for this Norqain. I'm hoping you have it. And he had this one on the strap. And the price that he gave it to me for was for $1,000 less than what Bucherer wanted. And no tax. So that was out the door. I almost don't like talking about money wise because it makes it feel kind of like it's not the whatever. It's expensive, but $1,000 less on a super limited watch. It's kind of like, holy crap. Like I felt compelled to do it, and I kind of just did it. And I said to myself, all right, do I have the money? Yes. Do I want to spend the money? No. So how am I going to buy this watch without spending money? I said, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll start selling again the pieces that have been in the collection for a long time. And this is how we came to this.
I will say, I do remember the day that I got a message from you when you're like, collection complete.
Right.
Never need another watch.
And then a week later.
I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I'm so happy for you, bro. So happy for you. But in the back of my mind, sure.
Sure, right.
a week later, Jordan, I get a message from him.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Exactly. That was the message. I'm in trouble.
What's going on?
I'm in trouble.
The itch.
Yeah.
It's back. And it's real bad.
It's back. Yeah, that's it. It's once you get that itch, fellas, it's like it engraves, it implants in your brain. You can't get it out of your head.
I call it the fever. Once I've got the fever, man, it's not good.
It's it. That's it. It's not.
I remember I remember my first Grail watch was a Zello Sky Raider bronze skeleton, and I loved it. And so, I have it in my collection. I got it. And I remember getting, it was still shipping, and I'm, it's on its way, and I'm showing my wife other watches. And I don't think she understood what Grail piece meant. I think she, in her mind's eye, that meant that you'll never buy another watch. And it was like, no, this is the watch I just wish to attain. That's highest on my list right now, dear. So
Right
then after
now,
that,
there's always another one.
and then you start settling in. And it's like, okay, no, I'm not going to buy another watch. And then, I find out about the Christopher Ward Bel Canto, and I get a decent a bonus at work, and so, I put a down payment on a Bel Canto and save for the next 8 months till it's ready, and still that thing's not even here yet, and I'm still shopping for the next watch, and my wife's like, I don't think I understand what Grail watch means.
It just means that's the one you want the most out of all of them.
Yeah. Well, and I even told Alex, and
it's expensive.
Yes. Oh God, that's what people are like. Oh, you got me into watches. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, But I even said I'm not buying another watch this year. Like on this show, I'm not buying any watches. I'm going to let my collection marinate and just see how it goes. And here we are, second week to March.
But it's that bracelet on video right now looks $1 million. It's such a great watch. And I'm so happy
finish
that
on this, like the side polish is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And the three of us now we can talk about it because we all have the same watch basically, and it's unbelievable. I always say this: some of these micro brands, I don't understand how they charge the money that they charge, and I think it's because the name doesn't warrant the money that the watch should be going for, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right, exactly. Well, so they can't put a Salida in it and say, all right, we're going to charge $1,000 for it. They're not there yet. Christopher Ward is doing that because I feel like Venezianico's doing that. They're the bigger ones, but not Erebus. So like even brands like Second Hour, and Peter and I had this discussion. He goes, I am barely surviving on charging the money that I'm charging for these watches, but I cannot. He said it himself. I cannot charge more because people just wouldn't buy. No matter how good the quality is. That gin clear that he has, the diver. It is an incredibly. It is. Oh, sorry, my daughter wants to come in.
It's all good.
Yeah, man, bring her in.
You sure?
What kind of watch does she have on? What kind of watch does she have on?
She wants to come in. Okay.
We can always
Livia,
cut
honey.
it out if you don't want it. In there.
Livia, you coming? Come, say hi. She's a little sick right now. Say hi. That's Jordan.
Oh,
hi.
Look
That's
how cute.
Alex.
Hi, Olivia.
Yeah. Say hi. Well, they can't hear you because she's wearing headphones. Yeah.
Oh, I can hear. I hope you feel better. Oh, she can't hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hope you feel better soon.
You want to say hi?
Hi there. I'm sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll feel better.
No, I hope you feel better.
She has a cough and a little bit of a fever.
Yeah, there's lots going around right now. Yeah.
Okay, sweetie. All right.
Thanks for coming to say hi to us.
Yeah.
Say bye,
Have
baby.
a good day, okay, Olivia? Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, baby.
I couldn't say bye.
Okay, here, say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Daddy!
Yeah.
You're not doing it straight.
Okay, I'm not doing it straight. Okay, here we go.
Hi.
Bye.
I mean, bye.
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 Okay, sweetie.
Bye.
He was talking to you, sweetie. Okay, close the door.
Oh,
Oh no. It's okay.
She just ran into the door.
She ran into the door.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yes, sorry about that. If you want, you can leave that in or edit it out. It's okay.
Yeah, that's dynamite, man. She does her own stunts too.
Yeah. But I was saying the second hour jinx does her own stunts. Yeah, so I'll get her into wrestling.
Her and Tom Cruise, see?
Yeah, but I was saying that the second hour gin clear, the quality of that watch it rivals anything in the $3,000-$4,000 world, and I've handled watches in that range, and the gin clear is just so mind-bogglingly well made. Diamond cut everything, that beautiful enamel dial, and it's like a really good enamel dial where it looks wet, where that it looks like it's flowing. That just crisp, the dial just looks so like it's raised. And the quality of the watch is insane, but he can only charge so much, and it's got an ETA 2824 in it, and he can't even go over $1,000. So I still don't know. I mean, Jody's making money on volume, You know,
Yeah.
because he's a big YouTuber, right? I mean, Peter's not a YouTuber. That's what's really that's what's really helping Erebus, is that he's been in the YouTube world for so long.
Yeah, when you have that many followers, you're going to sell a certain amount of watches, right?
Right. But for the lesser known guys who are putting forward such a high quality product, you know,
Yeah.
they can only charge so much.
There's a guy locally to me, and I don't want to say the name because I'm not going to say something positive right now. Because I hear stories like what you're telling me. You're saying, you know, this guy at sorry, my cat's scratching at my leg here. This guy at Second Hour.
Hungry.
Yeah, no, I've had my grandchildren here all weekend, and he doesn't like it, so he hides under the bed, and they've gone out now, so he wants attention. So anyway, sorry. This poor guy can't make a living selling his watches. There's a price point that he can get to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this watch brand that's come out locally, he's using, I'll call it a decorated ETA 6498, the pocket watch movement. It's actually the same watch that's in my Zello Skyraider, but mine's skeletonized, so to me, you know, a little higher value. And this guy's starting point is 5,900. And then he's got 3 different colored dials. Oh yeah, sorry, Canadian, Steve. So still 3,500, right?
Still expensive, yeah.
Still 3,000 for sure. So, but then, and it's decorated nicely, but then with each different colored dial, the price goes up. So like the green colored dials is just under 6,500. And so I kind of, when I seen it come up on my Instagram, I asked him right away, like, hey, what movement's in there? And he replied, a Swiss movement. And I thought, that's like telling me my car has an engine, you dick. What movement's in there? And he told me what it was. And I didn't want to say, you know, I don't want to, a guy's trying to do his thing, so I don't want to be too negative on it. So I didn't smash him on the internet. I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, I was like, if you are selling those, nobody that's an enthusiast is buying that watch for $3,500 for $1,000.
Yeah, because you saw my reaction as soon as you said that. I said, that's absurd.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
we're all
like I
gonna
say,
be guilty of it at some point, right? Like, who the hell are you to ask that much money? Like, I'm, you know, and I don't mean that just to be crappy, but if I look at a brand that I've never heard of, it's like, how can you ask $5,900? I never heard of you.
I guess.
Well, and again, the problem is we know what's in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at it and say, okay, you've got some nice bridge work on there, but it's not like it's skeletonized. It's not like, you know, they're not hand polished at beveled edges. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking next level finishing at 6. So when you start putting your name in with the Norqains or the Tudors, or you know what I mean, you better have some seriously
Longines.
Oh yeah, right. You better have some serious finishing, and I'd like to see one in the metal just to sort of see. But I just started laughing. I was like, this guy is out of his goddamn mind. Sorry.
I guess I want to quickly say to us guys that know what's inside, like you said, a perfect analogy is like, it's an engine, yeah, but what is it? Is it a 4-cylinder? Is it turbo? Is it hybrid? Is it you know, whatever? Is it an 8-cylinder? We know what's in it, but I guess he's banking on the fact that someone sees that watch, really loves what it looks like, knows nothing about decoration, movements, techniques, finishing, and just goes, you know what? That's a beautiful watch. I really want it. And someone out there, believe it or not, is going to pay that money eventually.
Well, I am keeping an eye on how long it takes him to sell them, because he's made 75, and I know I've seen him on different things, sponsoring events, giving them away as prizes. So I'm kind of keeping a loose eye to see how long it takes him to sell out of 75 pieces.
Well, listen,
you know,
all the best to him, but all I can say is that ultimately, without seeing the watch, and
I'll send you the link. Don't worry, Steve.
Oh yeah, I'm curious to see it, but that's not to say that I'll buy for that money, knowing what's on the inside of it as well.
Yeah.
For some guys, though, knowing what's inside the watch is the deciding factor. For a lot of people, they go, oh, you know what? It's got an NH in it, $500. The watch looks amazing. It's really well finished. I'll go for it. And some people will go, no, it's not. The NH is now, you know, it's outdated. It should be a $300 watch. You know, put a Miyota in it, put a 9,000 Miyota in it and charge that money. You know, or if you go above $1,000, you expect Swiss. But there's now brands that are charging $1,000 with still 9,000 series Miyotas in it. And people are still buying them. So it's kind of like that like where do you know what I mean? That threshold of where do you go?
Well, there's always going to be those people
on the movement.
Well, and there's always going to be people out there that want to tell you what they paid for their watch. Right?
True.
How much? Oh, my, say it's $6,000.
They're just dying to tell you. Me, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not like that at all. I don't. It's not about money. To me, it's the passion for the acquisition.
I get embarrassed.
The hunt, the process.
I get embarrassed when people ask me about the price of a watch, because it doesn't matter whether it's, one of my lower expensive watches or my top tier expensive watch. People always react like it's a ton of money, so I just don't even like talking about it.
I know. Isn't that the crazy thing? I'm the same way. I'm always, everyone's like, oh, what was that watch worth? I hate that question, because I can tell you it was $200, and they're like, you spent $200 on watches? Like, hey, I'm glad I didn't tell you it was $1,500. Because if you think I'm nuts there, like, you're going to think I'm bananas. Yeah, but...
Well, I worked with a guy who had thrown away and replaced his $30 quartz watch. And again, if you like your $30 throw in the garbage quartz watch, that's your gimmick. I'm not going to go hard on you. But we were talking about something, and I was wearing my 50th birthday watch, which was 1,000 Canadian, which is about $8 American, Steve. Just kidding. Probably
$8.
Yeah, it's like a peso.
If that's the case, I'm flying to Canada and buying watches.
Yeah. No, it's, you'll know exactly. It's a Hamilton Khaki Field 38 millimeter in bronze, right? With a mechanical, hand wind.
The hand wind, yeah.
And so it was 1,000 Canadian. And so he asked how much my watch was, and I told him. And his eyes were as big as dinner plates. And he goes, why would you ever spend $1,000 on a watch? And I was a little bit offended.
Some people just don't. Some people, just don't understand why we do this. And then you have other people on the other side.
Yeah, I just responded to him and said, why wouldn't you spend $1,000 on a watch? Right? It was just like, well, what do you mean? Why would I? Why wouldn't you? Like, if you have $1,000 and you love that mechanical object, it's an engineering marvel sitting on your wrist, then by all means. And if you don't.
That's it. I just think most people don't. They don't resonate with the whole idea of the craft behind it. How all of these little gears that we geek over. Like, so many things happening at once for you to be able to read the time on a watch. There's no digitalization whatsoever. It's all someone thought of it, created it. Whether it's handmade, whether it's machine made. It's still cool no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody about, chronographs the other day. And, to me, that's the most... it's a movement for whatever reason I'm too cheap to pay for, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it's the most amazing thing in the world that you can have something that can keep time, but then keep keeping time, and then do lap times and split seconds and fly back, and it can do all this stuff.
Flybacks are really cool. I don't have a flyback.
Right.
A flyback is really cool. That is really cool.
Right? So that's the stuff, and people are like, well, it's just, it just does a stopwatch. It's like, I don't think you realize what it takes to make that happen.
No, they don't. Yeah. It's very intricate.
Yeah. So that's where I really geek out. And then, because nobody else in your life cares about it, and they want to punch you in the face every time. They're like, oh, you want to talk about watches? Glad you didn't ask. And away I go, right? And so fortunately we do have the technology that we can find guys like you, Steve, and actually have these conversations.
Yeah, I was as you were saying that, I was thinking that.
Yeah. So we've kind of touched, you mentioned one of your watches from your collection that left, and people that, might be listening that follow you on Instagram, will probably know some of your collection. What else left your collection, if you want to share with us?
Yeah, sure. The 60s Presage is gone.
Okay.
I love that
watch.
I loved it to death, but ultimately it's the same ivory dial as this one, so I couldn't justify having the same kind of thing. I always try to have a versatile collection where I don't repeat on things. So if a diver is one color, I don't need another blue diver. If it's a black diver, I don't need another black diver on the bracelet. I already have that one, and that's how I go about it. Well, the Notice Avalon is a big contender to leave next. I'm still undecided about that one. The Seiko Turtle has left the collection. I've had that watch since 2022. The King Turtle, I should say, with that blue crack, that dial.
There's some Some legendary watches.
Yeah, the turtle has left. The Henry Archer that I just bought in October, that left, that rose gold one.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of lost the connection with it. That's another thing. It's funny. Like a friend of mine, CJ at Watch Out 247, we talk religiously, just how you guys do. He doesn't understand how I can get so excited about a watch, and then later on, 3-4 months later, just sell it. And I guess it's because when you first get it, it's like love at first sight. But then you start to know who the person is, and then you fall out of love with them. You know, so that's how I attribute my connection to watches. That some I see, I get all excited, I'm like giddy, it's new, and then the next day I'm just like, I don't feel about you the same way. And once that happens, I feel like that's it. It's just a matter of time before I sell it. Or on the flip side is if I get it and I wear it outside, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't stop staring at this thing. This is like the greatest thing ever. Then it just stays. But the Henry Archer, I literally just bought it in October, and it just got sold. So that's the Henry Archer, the Notice Avalon, the Seiko Turtle, the Spinnaker Flus, the green one. I honestly wasn't wearing that one at all. I kind of just liked what it looked like. It was supposed to be a summer watch, but that's gone. The Hex Mariner is gone. So that's 6 so far.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though, man, because I do think there's definitely a honeymoon stage when you get a watch, because I do think, like, we look at them all the time. We're all the same, right? I know we're always all looking at watches. And I think there's something that really strikes you and it catches your eye and you get it and it's just like, oh, I cannot get enough of this. And then something changes and suddenly you're like, why haven't I put that watch on in like months now?
Right.
And I think, you know, like you said, the honeymoon stage is over. And the spark isn't there anymore. And I don't think that's a wrong. It's just maybe it sucks if you've lost a little bit of money if you're going to sell it. But you know what? Like, if you also know that this isn't the watch, it's kind of a nice way to be able to then sell it, but also have something to put towards the next one. It's not just a complete loss.
Yeah, so, ultimately.
I always think, you know, I look at a watch collection and think, man, I haven't worn that watch for a while. I should sell it. And then I'll like put it on and wear it to work that day. And by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sell you. And I'm terrible.
I can't wear my watches to work because what I do, they would get destroyed, which is, you know, I wear my Invicta Pro Diver to work because that thing is just a workhorse. It can take whatever I throw at it. But I'm one of those guys, unfortunately, you know, kill me in the comments. I don't like scratches on my watches. I like to keep them as pristine as they can possibly be.
Yeah. Well, I wear certain watches to work, and there's certain watches I don't wear to work. And then, so I'm in outdoor sales, but I do have to do warehouse work a little bit every day. So days when I'm out of town and I don't have to be in the warehouse, that's when I put on the fancy watches. And the rest of the time, yeah, I'm wearing, you know, I'd actually wear this to work, but, you know, I'd just be a little bit cautious.
Phone call, boys. You keep going. I'll just mute.
Okay.
You got it.
All right, buddy. Jesus.
We were just talking shit about IT guys right now. So
nice. Yeah, my day
I was
job
actually
got in the way.
Yeah, as the Brits would say, I was chatting mad shit.
Nice. Attaboy.
Yeah.
It's the best. Yeah.
Anyways, I apologize for that. I don't remember where we were in the conversation, but
watches we wear to work. Jordan was talking about why he wears certain watches to work and some he won't.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we can talk about why Alex won't wear certain watches and damage his fucking boat.
The boat has to be supremely clean.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's so funny. Like that day when Jordan brought that up to me, like legit, my reaction.
Alex never talks about damaging his boat with his watch. He always talks about his watch getting scratched on the boat.
I legit never thought about it the other way at all. Never once thought about damaging my boat. I'm always worried about my watches. Yet all my watches have scratches because I'm a clumsy moron and I bang them into things everywhere. And I wear my watches, so I'll be honest, there's only maybe a couple I keep for nice, but otherwise I wear, like I post every day pictures of me on my hike through the woods. Like wearing, like I love it where, you know, I wear some of my nicer watches and people are all like, that's pretty fancy for the woods.
Yeah, what are you up to, buddy? Are you selling drugs to the squirrels?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't go into the office a lot. I don't go. So if I want to wear a nice watch, that's where I'm going to wear it.
That's where it's
what
wrong.
my daily life is. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but where you live is one of the reasons why I even started talking to you. To be honest with you, is that I'm like, where is this guy? Like, he's like in the mountains, man. Like all these beautiful scenery. I said, this is cool. Like, who is this dude?
Yeah,
I'm pretty lucky.
You see his videos and you think he's a lumberjack, and then you get to know him and you're like, oh no, he's not a lumberjack at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, true story, and long story short, my wife brought me out here this couple of summers ago for vacation. Work was hectic, and she booked a 10-day stay out here, or 8-day stay, and we stayed in a house right on the lake. And while we were out here, she'd secretly, because we've always talked about maybe retiring out here, she secretly found a few houses for us to look at. And we came and looked at a house, fell in love with it, and we went back home, sold our house, and moved a few months later. And it just happened.
That's awesome, man.
So,
Good for you, buddy.
So here we are. Yeah, here we are.
Good for you. Hell yeah.
Yeah. As long as you're happy, Alex, forget about the rest of us. As long as you're happy.
Yeah, took all the boys out on the golf.
Alex,
we were all on the golf course.
It almost sounds like you should have taken Jordan with you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Or, I wouldn't have asked you to stay, but maybe you could have made a place for Wendy and I to come with, Like some sort of guest house, perhaps.
Yeah, the lot next door to me is still for sale. We're still trying to figure out how to buy it to put a little guest house on it.
Well, there are those squirrels and drug selling opportunities. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's funny.
Oh boy,
that's good.
So,
all right.
Yeah. So it sounds like Steve, though, in our experience, because the truth is, about the same time, 2023, when my wife bought me a Tag Heuer Carrera, and I'd had up to that point I had a whole whack of Zelos watches in my collection, so I had nothing but micro brands. And she gave me that Carrera, and I realized, like, oh, there is a big difference. There's levels to this game.
There is a difference, yeah.
Yeah, and that's nothing against Zelos. I have 8 Zelos. I absolutely love them.
Absolutely agreed, yeah.
Yeah, like, I might even make out with Elshan Tang. Like, I really like him. He's fantastic. So I'm nothing negative, but yeah, once you start looking at that next tier of watch, sorry, buddy. Once you start looking at that next tier of watch, it can be hard to come back.
Does he feel the same way?
I don't think so. I've never expressed it to him personally. It's sort of
Someone's got a secret crush.
Secret's out. Secret's out.
It's not been very secret with me for a while, but yeah.
Oh man, that was really funny.
That's 2 weeks in a row. You're all flustered there, Jordan.
I get excited, man. I mean, my Skyraider, like any watch I can look right through. But then, like you say, you start looking, and all of a sudden you walk into the jewelry store and you're looking at those $15,000 Glazut organelles, and you're like, oh. Yeah, as much as I love my Zelos, if I had $15,000 worth, I might sell them to get this. You know what I mean? And I'll just start recollecting Zelos later. Yeah, it is. It's not better. It's just different.
Yeah, exactly. It's not better. It's just different. Yeah. And I think a lot of people always contribute that to the fact that, oh, look, you can show off and say, I'm wearing a $15,000 watch. No, it has nothing to do with the price. It just, there's something special about it. And what that is I don't know. I can never really explain it, but all I know is that there's a connection there that you don't really get from other watches. You like the other watches, but these things, they are what they are because they're just, I don't know. Is it because of money, boys? I don't know. Am I? Is there something to it? Is something else to it? Because I'm not that impressed with a $20,000 Rolex. Like, it does nothing for me.
Well, I think for myself, I look at it as an achievement point for sure, because there's, I come from, limited means in my background, to say the least. So the fact that I could even afford a $500 or $1,000 watch for me is an achievement. But that's not something I tell people. You know what I mean? I don't like people like, oh, that's a nice watch. Oh, you know what? When I was a little kid, I never could have afforded this, and now it's an achievement thing for me. That it's internal, and I think it's one of those things that people say, explain yourself. Like Alex's addiction to pornography. It's just something you can't explain. It just is. I'm sorry, Steve. That's just how my brain works.
That's just how his brain works. Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe it's the brand heritage and the fact that
Yeah.
I hate to bring the brand status into it, but I think that plays a role, right? And it's not.
That's
it's not,
where
again,
that's Rolex.
Yeah.
You know, like when like I had a buddy, my friend's turning 60, and we were out yesterday and we were talking. He was talking to me specifically. He's got X amount of budget to spend, but he wants a 60th birthday watch, and a minor consult. And we were talking about Rolex, and I said, here's the thing, man. Rolexes are an amazing watch. I said, but you got to consider that the money you spend on a Rolex can go so much farther with different brands. Like if you want that Rolex and you want that's for you is something that says, hey, I achieved something in my life, and this Rolex says that, then nobody can ever take that away from you. But when you look at, and I tried to explain to him, like Rolex last year was spent until LVMH took the sponsorship, and anybody that buys LVMH products, listen to what I'm saying here. Rolex was spending $50 million a season to sponsor F1. I don't know if you're into F1 at all, Steve, but so you figure, let's use a round number, that Rolex sells 1 million watches a year. So at least $50 from every watch sold goes for them just to sponsor F1. That doesn't include all the tennis, all the golf, and then the individual ambassadors. So that's where your money's going with Rolex. And Rolex are a great watch. I have nothing negative to say, but that's where your money's going. Where when we look at the Norqains of the world, who've just come on as like an NHL sponsor, which is big in Canada, obviously, they don't have that markup, even though they're making a comparable watch. They don't need to mark it up 28 times cost to cover off their $50 million sponsorships. And that to me is, while a monetary thing, we're saving money because we don't care about brand name. We just want a really nicely finished watch.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll throw my 2 cents in here really quick, because this is how I feel, and obviously, I've reviewed my collection on the show, and you guys know what my collection looks like. I haven't really gone past that micro brand level yet.
I remember there was a smartwatch. I remember Alex.
There was a
There was a
smartwatch. There's 2 in the collection. Wait till you see the other one.
Still mad at you over that. Quit this show, man, if you don't get rid of it.
You can't quit. Once you're in, you're never out.
I couldn't quit you, Alex.
That's right.
Am I getting in the way of something here?
Sorry, Steve. Sorry, you got to witness this, Steve.
Yeah. But this is my 2 cents on how it makes me feel. I think when you're a man or woman, regardless, there's so many people that love watches, and I think if you get it, you get it. The watch is, you pick that watch for yourself, and I think we all have different reasons. Is it a brand? Is it a value? There's a lot of reasons why that watch connects with us. And I think what makes it maybe a higher level watch, and as I've spent more money on watches, this is how I feel. I do feel that level of achievement, but I feel a deeper connection to it because I do think it's a little bit more special. I do think, I kind of had the words, and now I'm struggling too, like you said, Steve. But I do think it's what it means to us, and I just think you can't explain it to somebody that doesn't love watches the way we love them. We love it for our reasons. I like cars, but I'm not really a car guy. So somebody that spends tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on restoring a car and hours in the garage and working on that, I don't really relate to that, but I understand that that's what they're passionate about. But for me, this is a passion, and I think when you really save and invest the time and effort into picking that grail watch, and it's something that you've worked so hard, I think there's that extra special level of accomplishment, that way it makes you feel. And we say this all the time, when you put on a nice watch, you just feel better.
You do.
And I think when it's a nicer watch, I just think there's that level of just what it does for you. And I don't know, there's something about it. I totally get what you're saying, and maybe I'm not finding the right words, but that's what it does for me. It's what it means to me, and it's not about money. It's not about brand. It's about...
Correct. It's not about money. It's not about brand.
Because I love watches, and I know what this watch does, and I know what this watch is capable of, and that's all that matters. Is I love it. So
well,
I also think that.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Just very quickly. I think if they were easy to get, I think we wouldn't love them as much. I think the fact that they are hard to obtain, and it does take some hard work into getting it. Like you can't just say to yourself, all right, I'm just gonna go buy like a Casio. You can buy Casio 20, 30, $15, right? And there's nothing there because they're just so easily accessible. Something like a Tag, a Breitling, a Longines, an IWC, whatever. You know that it's maybe for people that are rich, like really rich, for them this is just like how we feel about like Casio or like an AliExpress brand. It's easy to get. So for them, they're like, yeah, this is no big deal. Maybe for them, a $500,000 Patek is something that like for us, like a Norqain is like special. For them, those watches are special. For us, it's like it's ridiculous. You're buying a house, but we're not we're not on that level. I also think like that contributes to it, but brand status is really not it. I just think when you see the watch, you fall in love with it, and you go to the store, you have it in your hand, you see the techniques, you see the design, how the subdials are inlaid. It has it's they use like different processes to plate, diamond cut or the crystal is faceted, and you see it, and everything works in the metal, and then that's what you fall in love with. And then the second part of that is, well, how are you going to get it? And all of that, I think, is what makes these watches very, very special. Yeah. That's probably the best way that I'd be able to describe it.
Yeah, I had a big joke lined up, and now I forgot it.
I'm sorry.
You know what's funny? Well, no, it was something stupid. But you know what's funny is I've thought, you're talking about, okay, what watches can I sell to get to the next level? And I've never really thought that, but I honestly have thought if I sell my car, I could buy like my grail watch and then get a cheaper car for work.
There you go.
Yeah, I have thought about that. I have had that conversation.
There's something to be said. Do you have 30 watches that cost $1,000, or do you have 2 watches that cost $15,000, or 1 watch that costs $30,000? Ultimately, for you, what would make you happy? I think in the beginning, it would make us happy to have 30 watches that are $1,000, and then we slowly realize that, you know what? Yes, they're all nice, and they've made us feel a certain way, and that we feel great about them, but all of a sudden you start to think, well, maybe I don't need 30 watches. Maybe I can actually just have fewer watches that are more expensive, so I can start selling off to obtain that. And I feel like for me, I started out with a large collection. I've downsized. Now I've built up the collection again, and now I'm downsizing again, and I'm in that phase again. So it's like peaks and valleys, man. Peaks, valleys, peaks, valleys. And I think that's the whole journey. Because otherwise, like Alex, I told you, my collection was complete. Like, what do you do? What do you do now? You enjoy your watches, yes, but we're watch enthusiasts. We can't sit still. It's like we have ADD. We're like, we need to go. We're like squirrels. We need that. We need that fix. And
I've actually been part of a lot of conversations lately about how people on the spectrum recite watch stats and collect things the way I do. And so there's some question as to whether I may be highly functioning autistic or Asperger's.
Yeah, I think in a sense we definitely do have some sort of attention disorders here, because we can't just sit still in class. It's like that kid. I can't sit still in class, and the teacher's yelling at him, say, "Sit still." We can't. We can sit still maybe for 10 minutes. I feel, and perhaps I was lying to myself when I said to you, Alex, I said, "Oh, my collection is done." You knew in the back of your head, this guy's full of shit. And then, and then consequently, a week later, I text you saying I'm in trouble because I got to see that. I got to see this thing in person, and I knew that I was. Excuse my word. I was fucked. I was fucked. That's it. I knew it right there and then that I was like, shit. This is gonna be an issue, and I'm gonna get the Norqain in one way, shape, or another.
And isn't that the lament of every watch collector? Right? You're like, okay, I'm not going to buy any more watches. I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to blah, blah, blah. And then, a week, a month, 2 months later, you're like, oh, crap. Because you see, like, even last year,
something out there that we don't know about.
In fairness, every 2 days, there's another watch coming out there. You're like, well, come on. Right. I made this decision before knowing this information. Now I have new information.
Now I have new information.
My decision's changed.
Yes.
The worst,
and it's never ending. I don't think it will ever end. I think we are in this until we will no longer be on this earth. I think we're.
Well, I believe it. I believe what we do is an evolution. Do you know what I mean? Like you were saying, Steve, it's ebbs and flows, ups and downs, peaks and valleys. You know, you'll slow down, you'll speed up, you'll make some poor decisions, you'll make some really great decisions. You know, but at the end of the day, the really cool thing is just when you think you've, seen everything, you've seen every watch, you've seen every dial, all of a sudden Oracle at times sends you an email and they're like, oh yeah, Tag Heuer just released this, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, crap.
Exactly. Yeah. You're screwed.
Oh yeah. My wife will hear me, I'll get an email and she'll hear me go, ah, shit. And she'll go, what? And I'll say, and all I have to say is Elshan. And she knows Zealous put something out that I want.
But that's the problem. They keep changing the rules. And just when you think you got the game licked, they change the rules again and show you something new and shiny.
Yeah. Like I said, my friend CJ, we always have this conversation with what is the number of watches? And for him, it's 30. For me, it's 24. For him, it's 30, but he has 100 watches. So, and he's going to try to consolidate.
He's got more than 3 times that, but the number's 30.
The number's 30, but he's got 100. Well, also he's a brand collaborator in his defense, and he's amazing. CJ, if you're going to be listening, you're an amazing videographer and a kind of okay photographer. Yeah, I kid because he always says, how come people don't talk about my photography? They only judge me for my videography. But you're an amazing photographer and an amazing videographer. But
And well, if you need a model, brother, I can model for you. Look at very nice.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's funny because I do feel like my collection is quite large. But my problem is I've had a lot of watches over the years, and a lot of them have stories behind them that I'm not willing to ever part with. But I will say that just how my brain works, it also gives me anxiety when I'm adding new watches. I feel this panic that I almost need to get rid of something now.
Well, I'm at 30 myself right now. 31 is on my wrist right now. And I'm at a point where it's like, okay, at 30 watches, I can actually wear them. You know what I mean? At 30, you rotate, because I wear 2 watches a day every day. So you can kind of rotate through 30. For me, once you start getting more than that for myself, I'm like, I don't think they'll get the wrist time I want to get once I get over that number. So I think even I might look at if somebody makes me the right offer on the right watch, which will never happen, to be honest, because it's not like people are like, hey, can I give you money? But yeah, I could kind of see myself consolidating to try to move up to the next level, because I mean, that Glazut Panamatic Lunar is calling my name so bad.
There you go.
My mouth waters. My mouth just watered.
And that's where it starts, dude. And my advice to you would be, is absolutely do it, because do it. You've spent enough time with the watches that you currently have. It'll be a new journey, a new chapter. It'll rejuvenate everything, potentially leading down a path where you will start selling more to acquire watches like that. But it's all part of that journey, man. And if you just tell yourself that you're gonna do it, you're never gonna do it. You gotta just force yourself to do it. Force yourself to do it, and
again, I'm afraid.
No, you gotta, man. You can do it. I believe you can.
It's like having 31 little security blankets.
But they will be covered by one. You will only need that one, and that one will make you feel like 31. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That watch to me is it. Like, it's the highest of watchmaking. It's just so pretty. It's perfect. So, I hear what you're saying, and I. The problem with me is I'm such a kind of a. Well, we're on the show. I'm going to be careful. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do it, and I look at it and I get soft. You know what I mean? Like, I'm such a little baby when it comes to it. Like, it's an inanimate object. It's not going to miss me. You know what I mean? Like,
I think what you're trying to describe is, like, for you, you've grown attached to these things, and it's hard to let go. But yeah. I think it's okay. It's not like you're shipping your child to another country and you'll never see him again.
Well, so that's a question. Would I have an easier time with that? Would I sell a child easier than a watch? I don't know.
I think the answer is yes. All right.
You have to ask.
See you later. I'm getting my glass suit. I'm getting my glass suit. You've been
Yeah.
sold.
So you're saying you don't like this kid? Well, I can help with this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm getting sued for sure.
Just to go back to earlier, I know when Steve mentioned that he's got his Longines and his Breitling, you can also see why we immediately connected, because he's looking at my post going, where the hell does this guy live? I want to chat with him. I'm looking at his watches and going, he's got 2 of my grails. I need to chat with this guy. So that was also part of why we hit it off right away, and I'm glad those watches is still in the collection, and it's good to hear.
No, those are the really special ones. You know, those are the ones that can stay as like a core of 12, and then that's basically it. And maybe ultimately that's where I'm going, is to try to reduce down to 12, but I don't know.
Or maybe you just keep building it up and then flush in the system again and starting over. Maybe this is just a lifelong chase.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah.
And you know what?
Like
and every
I say,
time
it's
you
an
add
evolution,
extra special
man.
piece. Yeah.
It's an evolution. Yeah. It's always changing. It's always changing.
Well, it's, okay, I'm going to nerd out a little bit now. So I'm a partsman by trade, so I do a lot of inventory control. And one thing I always tell young people is inventory is a living, breathing entity. It's always evolving, stuff you're going to move in, stuff you're going to move out, phases. And yeah, as we're talking about, selling watches and things like that, same thing, your watch collection, now that I'm sat, kind of having this conversation, it's a living, breathing entity in that it will be in a constant minutia, in a state of flux or change, or, do you know what I mean? But it will never just, I don't know, I think if you're a passionate watch collector, chances are you'll collect until you physically can't collect anymore.
I think you're right.
I mean, I just can't imagine a day that there's never there's just never ever another watch that you don't want. Like, how does that happen? Like, maybe I have a couple of days in a row where it's like, no, I'm really good.
It lasts 2 weeks and then it's over.
Okay. From experience, 2 weeks is the number.
2 weeks and it's over. For 2 weeks, you feel like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now, okay, here's a question, Steve. Did you tell your wife you were done? And if you did tell your wife you were done, what did she say to you 2 weeks later when you said, by the way?
My wife is a supporter-ish of watches. So I try not to really involve her too much with this, because she kind of understands it and kind of doesn't.
Right.
Is she supportive of what I do? Maybe.
Maybe.
Ultimately, okay. she probably want me not to be into this as much as I am, but
yeah. If she's anything like my wife, which, if you might have heard me say this, but my wife, people say, like, how come you let him buy all these watches? And my wife's like, well, I think it's cheaper than strippers and blow. And my response to that was like, but I would hang out with really cheap strippers, so probably not.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So, yeah,
that's
man,
fantastic.
we should probably take her home, boys.
Yeah, I think that we should definitely maybe wrap this up. This was such a great conversation and so much fun to just sit here and nerd out for over an hour and just talk watches. Obviously, like I said, I've been waiting to wear my second hour on the show till you're here with us. So that was fun to share that. And man, what a journey these last few weeks we've kind of all been on. I've got a couple of new watches in the collection. Jordan's got a new watch. Yeah. You're in a complete turnover of your collection, Steve.
Yeah. Well, and congratulations on that Norqain, man. That's a beautiful watch. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
It's funny because, we always talked about your Seiko and how beautiful of a Seiko that was. And as much as I'll miss seeing that, we'll be good when you post that one.
Yeah.
that'll scratch the itch I have of seeing a nice nice dial.
Yes. So. Speaking of Seiko, my still favorite watch in the collection is the Sharp Edge, and it will probably always will be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beauty.
Nice.
It's a beauty. That's awesome.
Excellent.
All right. Well, once again, just one watch. Oh shit!
One watch just isn't enough.
One watch just isn't enough on Instagram. Give Steve a follow. Check it out.
Jordan's like,
His
shit.
content. Yeah. Look, this is not a surprise for anybody that's 10 episodes in with us.
It's hilarious, man.
I'm like, hey Jordan, let's do a podcast. Oh, have you ever done one before? No, I'm not even.
Hey, you want to do a podcast?
Yeah. So here we are. Oh man. Anyways, give Steve a follow. His content is fantastic. He posts a lot of great pictures and super fun guy to chat with and so engaging. And yeah, it's been great to get to know you, dude. And
likewise.
Once the collection settles, and we'll see how things go, and maybe we got to do a follow up in a little while here to see where you're at.
Yeah. It's crazy how fast things move here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was a great chat, boys. Thank you so much for joining us, Steve.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. It really, really was.
Yeah. It was great to meet you, Steve. Thanks for doing this.
Likewise, Jordan. You are a hysterical dude, Jordan. I have a feeling that if we were to ever meet up, we would just chill at the bar and just crack jokes all day long. And just
I have a feeling.
There's a world where there's watch shows in New York, and there's a world where not too far across the border in Canada, Toronto or Montreal, there's no reason why we're not all together nerding out over watches at a watch show.
I would love to come up. It's like a 7-hour drive for me. Yeah, that's not so bad.
The American dollar goes really far up here right now, Steve.
Yeah, maybe, right?
Yeah. So, all right. Great chat, boys.
Right,
thanks, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It's a great chat. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
And slow down, we're out of time. Same watch talk next time.